Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another card review. So we have power release version of Maya. So this kind of come up as a surprise for me, actually. Okay, so Maya is finally gonna get a power release, and let's take a look at her upgraded skills. Alright, so starting off with the leader skill, let's take a look. Number one, light and dark possess 50% of heart runes. Dark possess 50% of light runes. Heart possess 100% of light runes. So now this might be a bit confusing, right? But you just have to remember that your attacking runes have 50% effect of or pretty much 100% effect, right? Because we're talking about leader ally now, right? 100% of heart runes, and then what you want to do is to utilize most of your heart runes, because that's going to possess 200% effect of light runes, right? So here's where the multiplier comes. So if you dissolve 2 out of the 3 runes, which is light, dark, heart, right, your light attack will have a basic multiplier of 5. So what this means is that if you are super unlucky and you only dissolve 1 type of runes, you have the 0 multiplier, right? So that is still very luck based, but I believe there is gonna be still such occasions, right? Because Maya is still a very luck based black card out there, right? Something similar to Guan Yu, but because of Maya's cross dissolve, in which I'm gonna talk about later, right? It's gonna be slightly easier in terms of dissolving runes, right? So I expected Maya to have a 2 dissolve for heart runes or something like that, but it didn't happen. But let's move on to the team skill. Alright, so for the team skill, this is very interesting because I kind of I think I did mention this on a live stream before, right? So in fact, what I've mentioned in the live stream kind of happened here. Alright, and then okay, let's talk about the team skill first. So basically, if you have a leader ally Maya, so if you take a look at effect number 2, for every 3 light, dark, or heart runes dissolve, light attack increase additionally to the max times 5 for 30 runes those dissolve, right? So if you have a total of 30 light, dark, heart in total dissolve, you're gonna get that max times 5 multiplier, which is again very luck based. You will have a varying variation of multiplier every single turn. Okay, so this is kind of the suggestion that I gave to Madhead for VR Greek Gods, right? So because Greek God kind of have a very good sky drop, right? So I believe if they were to incorporate this for Greek Gods, it's probably going to be 60 runestones dissolve and stuff like that. Okay, but I can see this happening for VR Greek Gods as well, but let's see what's going to happen, right? But this is going to massively increase Maya's damage output, right? But then again, very luck based, and we are definitely not going to get a maximum times 5 multiplier for every single round, right? So when this card comes out, we will really have to test it to see whether it is good or not. Okay, so based on the team skill, you can see that Maya can actually change her leader skill to the EX version of her leader skill that you see just now, right? So it's a bunch of super long effects. So you can see 1 all the way to freaking 10 pointers for her leader skill, right? So let's take a look. So number 1, extend rune movement to 8 seconds. So this is not regardless, so it's going to be affected by time debuff as well, right? So light, dark possess 50% of heart, so that is the same, I guess. So the only difference is point number 3. So dark runes now also possess 100% of your light runes. Okay, so now we have water, fire, earth also possessing effect of heart runes. Okay, so that is definitely an extra buff there, right, in terms of damage output. And then if 2 of the 3 rune stones are dissolved, referring to light, dark, heart, light attack times 5. Okay, so there's no change there. Light attack HP recovery times 1.6, so that is definitely a buff right there, right? So I believe if you're gonna throw in Michael Lucifer and all this, right, the HP is gonna be pretty massive. Okay, let's move on to pointer number 7. Runestones can be dissolved by grouping 3 or more, so that's pretty much the L-shaped dissolve, what we see in Guan Yu, what we see in what other teams out there. Yeah, Guan Yu. That's the only team I can think of right now. Okay, so point number 8, drop rates are not going to be affected by skills, which means that you can't simply throw in light ENC and stuff like that to stop the drop rate of heart runes, for example. Right, not gonna happen. And then at the end of the round, you can choose to explode the X shape. I think players that played Maya will have really understood this. I don't really have to go into detail. Okay, so now we have we have a choice of, if we do not explode the X runes, the X positions, it will convert that X position into enchanted light runes at the end of the round. Right, so I believe, I'm not sure why they do not give Maya a enchanted, I would say enchanted god, light god runes instead. Maybe it's a bit too OP, I don't know. Okay, so what I can see are very, very strong potential members for Maya, and I'm going to talk about that after I talk about the leader skill, the active skill for Maya. Alright, so last but not least, Maya's active skill, which is at CD6. There's no change. Okay, so basically turn all runestones into enchanted runestones. So you can see that Maya doesn't really revolve around raised runes. There's not much raised runes available for Maya to play about, right? So for one round, light, god, and demon times 2. And then if you are running a light god or light demon, that's going to be a 2.5 multiplier instead. And then basically hard, dark, and hard, dark, light possess effect of each other, right? I believe that last point is pretty much redundant already, because there's so much possession around the leader skill, so that's not going to affect, right? So let's just talk about that few potential members for Maya, right? So I don't really do this in card reviews, right? So these are just a few cards that are coming from the back of my head, just to give a few examples, right? So one very good buff would definitely gonna be Luna, right? So if you are gonna play back that traditional Maya Lucifer playstyle, right, definitely throw in Luna because of her amelioration or awakening recall, which actually increase god attack by 400, and also extend room movement regardless by 1 second. So that is quite a good asset for Maya, right? So next, I can definitely see people putting this card in is definitely the Halo of Blessing Yanxi, which is that light Yanxi card from the collector's deck, right? So finally, Yanxi can shine again. It's gonna be an enchantress version for Maya, right? So you can see that Yanxi actually give another additional god attack and recovery times 1.6 on top of what Maya already have passively. Okay, so at the beginning of each round, turn light and dark runestones into enchanted god runestones. So this actually gives Maya additional raised runes to play about, and that's going to increase her damage output massively. Right, so on top of that, Yanxi can also be deactivated to clear additional effects, and all this additional effect, and as well as exploding all runes on the board, and god CD -2 for each effect clear. So you can see there is many playstyles that revolve around Maya now, right? Because of the sheer amount of light gods in the game right now, right? So I believe if Maya have a decent amount of base multiplier and not much throw for sky drop, I believe her damage output will be right back into the meta, right? So, but then again, I'm still not a very big fan of that randomness of the sky drop and stuff like this, right? So it's gonna be very epic dying because you're using Maya once again. But I'm quite happy that she's back into the game, right? So next power release we can predict is gonna be the following few black cards that came after Maya, right? But till now, let's just look forward to the power release of Maya, right? So overall, that's gonna be card review for the power release version of Maya. If you guys enjoy, do give it a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.